to my card, I know the cost. Yeah, I put in the work that you don't. Day after day, I work and I play. Yeah, I'll do all the things that you won't. Even when my feet get tired, I will keep on moving higher. I'm the story you don't speak of. I'm the one they call the underdog. 'Cause every time the push comes to shove, I'm climbing over you to reach the top.
So I had to change my shutter speed. I think it's at like 8,000 because I forgot my ND filter. Head's not in the right place. Anyway, I'm here in Greer, Arizona. It's been a couple of days since I posted my video where I announced that Google and I were parting ways. And in that time, I have not opened my laptop, except every once in a while to go in there and just clean out some of the hundreds of emails and messages I got. I am overwhelmed by the messages of support, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But it's been great to be able to take a couple of days and just shut everything down and not talk about things and not think about things. I've been doing everything that I enjoy doing, from shooting astrophotography, because Greer is one of the best places in the country, maybe the world, to shoot astrophotography. You are at 8,500 feet. It's a clear, cool sky, so you don't have a lot of heat coming off the ground. You have no air pollution, zero light pollution. It is one of the best places to shoot astrophotography. Unfortunately, you can't control the moon. And what is happening this week is that we are on the full moon cycle. So a couple of days ago, I had about an hour to just shoot some dark sky between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, which is, you know, it's much funner to shoot at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, not 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. But that's over with now anyway, because the moon will be up way longer than the Milky Way will be there, so I will get no more night photography, so I'll just take pictures of the moon. But I think I got a couple of good shots with the opportunity that I had. I've been hanging out with Azella, which is obviously my favorite thing in the world to do. Spending time playing, drawing, working on Lego. She's finally at the point where she can build Lego by herself, so she can go through the book and put the pieces on, and kind of breaks my heart because she would just sit there and watch me do it. Now I sit there and watch her do it. Oh, nice. Look, you're gonna be doing this by yourself soon. I've been working with Luna to try to get her to walk, right? So the whole idea is that Luna will walk right next to us and get to the point where she doesn't use a leash at all. So a couple of times I've taken her out into an area where she could walk. Where she starts running, I might be able to catch her. But try and teach her how to walk next to us. So doing some dog training. And I just started today going through some of the messages. And again, I'm overwhelmed by the messages. I will say it's some of the messages that's kind of like being at your own funeral, right? Like everyone thinks you're dead, but you get to read all the nice things that people say about you. And you know, some of them are tear jerkers. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dead. I'm going to keep doing this work. So chill. The messages have been amazing, and I can't wait to go through them. I'm sure I'll talk more about those messages. But one of the key themes from just barely scratching the surface of all the messages that I went through is, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do next? And that word next is a word I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I don't think there is a next. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a bunch of things, and it's all under the umbrella of one problem that I'm trying to solve. And that problem is to try to figure out which of my two assumptions is correct. So in my 14 years plus at Google, and even before that, I've always been conscious of the fact that I don't get to meet a lot of people in the positions that I end up in who are like me. I don't get to meet people who grew up in poverty or with a single mother on welfare and food stamps, who grew up in a violent community, who went to a state school, SUNY Brockport. Like, how many people do you think work at Google from SUNY Brockport? Actually, no one right now. And so I don't get to meet a lot of people like me in positions of influence, in positions where you can make significant differences when it comes to policies, organizational changes, or even direction or paradigm shifts. I don't get to meet a lot of people like me. So I think the problem I'm trying to solve is to make more me's. And I can make one or two assumptions. Assumption number one is that I've been successful and I've been in these positions of influence because I am a super genius and I have an 800 IQ.
You definitely do not have an 800 IQ.
She's right.
Or assumption number two is that there are millions of students, millions of young people who are just like me, who are growing up just like me, who grew up just like me, who went through the same circumstances and are growing up in violence, growing up on social services, growing up with a single mother. There are millions of them who are talented and passionate and have unbelievable perspective and can have huge impact. But for many reasons, they cannot. Everyone needs luck. Luck is one of those things that everyone should have a little bit of. But when you're growing up the way I grew up, luck is the most important factor. And so the problem I'm trying to solve is to eliminate luck as the most important requirement to being from a place like I am from and being successful. That's the problem I'm trying to solve. And we can do that by focusing on equity and inclusion and diversity. And we can focus on those things in all aspects of life. We can focus on that in K-12. We can focus on that in higher education. We can focus on that in the business world. We can focus on that in how we do learning at the professional level. There's a whole bunch of different angles on that problem. And what I'm trying to decide is, where could I start tackling those issues around equity, diversity, inclusion to get more people into positions of influence and power? One of the things that I'm working on now is trying to get everyone to stop saying college and career ready, trying to get our students college and career ready. Like, why shoot so low? Why is getting a job the ultimate goal when that shouldn't be the goal? We should be making change makers. We should be making change agents. We should be making people who are influential, policy experts. We should be building wealth. I don't want to talk about college and career ready. I want to talk about building influence, building power, building wealth. And that's what I want to focus on. Now, I don't know what that's going to turn into right now. I'm going to spend the next couple weeks trying to figure that out, but I definitely don't think it's one thing. I think I have to spend time in a lot of different areas, and that's what I'm trying to figure out now. So, I'm here in Greer for the week, going to spend some time trying to figure this out. But right now, the most important problem that I need to solve is getting a box of Lucky Charms. So, I'm off to the store.
I'm the one they call the underdog, 'cause every time the push comes to shove, I'm climbing over you to reach the top, 'cause I want.
You have fun? Okay. You don't want to talk to me, that's fine.
It all, 'cause I want everything and nothing, 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 nothing at all.